So continuing to feed my infield addiction, went ahead and purchased another #1 Mark III from Royal Tiger Imports. They had a sale on their B grades, so I couldn't resist, so I went ahead and purchased one. Took about just over a week to get here, so it was pretty quick from the time I ordered, time I got it. So shipping times definitely have gotten a lot faster recently from what I've noticed from Royal Tiger, at least in my experience. And overall, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I'll go through the condition of the rifle, and I'll do some highlights on some of the markings as well as some of the kind of damage to the stock that's part of a B grade. Right, starting with the butt stock, you can see it has a hole for a stock disc, but there's not one in there. Either there wasn't one ever installed or it was removed at some point. You can see the butt plate's in pretty decent shape. You can see there was a stock repair here. Basically replaced the entire rear of the stock. You can see there's a little notch here where they fitted that piece on there. So it's actually a really well done stock repair. So should be pretty strong. And this could have happened either from damage of the butt striking something. That's certainly possible. It could also have been they removed the butt plate screws. Maybe there's some damage to the back of the buttstock here, so they just decided to basically cut kind of a notch right here in the back and then just fit a new piece of wood on. But overall, pretty well done buttstock repair, whoever did it. Moving up the buttstock. There's some damage here on the buttstock around the wrist. A lot of wear there. I don't know if that was just a big chip that happened or just over time, but there's a lot of wear. You can see that. You can see the steel right here. See, this is a 1918 dated Mark III Star. The GR is for George Rex, who's the king at the time, King George. You can see the magazine's pretty much in the white. You can see the infamous wire wheel lines right here. So it's pretty obvious this rifle is wire wheeled pretty aggressively on the magazine. It's not too bad on the receiver, but there's a lot of wear there as well. Moving down the rifle, it doesn't have a screw here, which you see on a lot of either Indian made or the Indian factory repairs. Rear sight looks pretty good. The 4 pieces of wood that you would see on each side of this that connect to the top handguards here are just missing. So it's just basically this open gap here. It does cause an issue sometimes, like with this getting loose up here. You can see, but not a huge deal. You can definitely see this is wire wheeled. You can see the marks on each side on the wood and on the steel as well. And the nose cap, definitely wire wheeled as well. You can see some marks here, as well as some pretty obvious marks right here. Let's go ahead and turn over. The other side, buttstock looks pretty good. Now this particular rifle, I did notice there is a stamp here in the back. It's kind of hard to read. You can see it's right here is NRF. So that manufacturer early in the war was SSA. Now SSA stood for Standard Small Arms and NRF stood for National Rifle Factory. So National Rifle Factory is when the government basically took over Standard Small Arms. Definitely pretty excited to get a NRF marked infield. Not many were made. I believe they only made somewhere between 20 to 70,000 #1 Mark IIIs out of the millions that were made. So it's certainly one of the more rare and more sought after types of infields. So you'll see that on the 1918 examples like this one. I do have a 1918 dated SSA, so that must have been earlier in the year. You can see here the wood, I mean, it's generally in good condition. If you look at the top of these handguards though, there is some little gouges and cracks. Mostly gouges in this area. This right here is a crack. You can kind of see the space here move. Goes about right around here. So that I'm going to have to fix. You can see back here some cracks as well. Looks like there is some repairs done on this. Let's take it apart and see if those repairs are still holding. And you can see a ton of wire wheel marks on the side of the stock here. Just uneven wear and finish. It's pretty obvious as wire wheeled. Moving on the rifle, again, more wire wheel marks. And more wire wheel marks down here. It's like some chips and everything there. I don't see any scratches. That's just a surface crack, looks like. More of a scratch than an actual crack. Don't see much issue with this either. Looks like that's all looking good. So go ahead and take a look at the bore. So you can see the bore on this one's actually really nice. For a B grade, I wouldn't expect it to look like that. So while the wood and a lot of the finish has some issues, overall with a bore like that, this rifle should be still a pretty good shooter. Obviously I'll have to headspace it and everything, make sure that it's safe to shoot, but just from the way the bore looks, it definitely looks like a rifle that will shoot really well. So go ahead and break this rifle down and I'll do a video of it as I clean it up and reassemble it. But I just wanted to get this video out there so you can see that this is what you're gonna typically get from an infield from World Tiger Imports. I would say that this type of rifle with such a good bore probably be on the more rare side for a B grade, but I'd certainly take stock issues and finish wear in order to get an excellent bore like this any day. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll have to examine it more as I clean it up, but definitely a good purchase. Should have another video out for the Ishapore infield as well. I finished that one up recently, as well as some other projects I'm working on. So if you'd like to be alerted to those, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions about this rifle or any questions about infields in general, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.